Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everyone with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. Here on Invisible Condition, we know that life can be tough. I get it. So for my invisible condition, for those of you who've been watching for a while, you're going to know this will sound familiar. I'm 7 brain surgeries in. 7 brain surgeries in. I get it. Sometimes things can get dicey. Things can get rough. The other side of that coin is there's always hope. Always hope. And so if you are out there watching and you're thinking, what the heck is he talking about? No, I'm pretty hopeless right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Life is pretty rough right now, and I've lost my hope. Then I want to talk to you, and I want you to email me at this email right here, jeff@hydrowithhope.com, and I want you to just put hope in the subject line. I want to talk to you, man. Nobody should live without hope. Hope is a beautiful thing. So, all right, next. Speaking of hope, I want to talk to you about our nonprofit, which is called Hydro with Hope. And I'm going to see if I can get that to stay there. It keeps going away. Welcome to Live TV, everybody. So if you would like to, oh, you know what? Actually, that's not what I want there. If you have been watching for a while, you know that Hydro with Hope is our nonprofit partner. And Hydro with Hope is there in order to help families that are dealing with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is the one that's my story. That's the condition I was born with and caused me to have brain surgery at 2 weeks old, and then a couple more times in my childhood. And 4 brain surgeries have happened in the last 12 years. It's been a really crazy ride around here. And sometimes that condition can be unpredictable like that. And so for those of you out there that are dealing with hydrocephalus, I want to help you. If there are people out there that know somebody, because it's very common, it's ridiculously common. If you know somebody, and chances are you do, you just might not know it, because about 1 out of every 800 babies born in this country are born with it. So if you have a couple thousand Facebook friends, chances are you probably know at least a couple people that are living with hydrocephalus. So if you would like to donate to our nonprofit and help us help all the people out there, we have an amazing journal that we publish that helps people walk through that experience of, oh, holy smokes, I get to have what kind of surgery again? Brain surgery. Okay. So it kind of talks them down off the ledge and walks them through that whole experience. And it's a great journal, great thing that I want to get into the hands of anybody who needs it. My wife and I, Catherine and I, we speak around the country and around the world about hope. We would love to come to your organization, your school, your company, your fundraiser, your whatever, and just tell our story. I promise it's a good one. So anyway, all of that is funded by we are a 501c3. So this is a donation link. Thank you in advance if anybody would like to donate. And there is a recurring donation link there as well. So, all right. That's good. We're gonna bring on our guest here. Graham Hawley is my guest, and he's seen firsthand how so-called lifestyle conditions can quietly change somebody's life. Not always for the better, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. Often long before anyone can see it. Now, after witnessing the devastating impact of type 2 diabetes on both his dad and his brother, he dedicated his life to helping others understand that medication alone is not always the solution. Sometimes medication, I get it, depending on the condition, sometimes medication can be an answer, but it's not always a good permanent answer. And so he is now a certified health and wellness coach with a powerful message about prevention. That's a good thing. Awareness and reclaiming health from the inside out. Let's bring Graham on here and see what's going on. Graham, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for the invite.
This is going to be awesome. I feel like this has been a long time coming, man. We've been hanging out for a while. So this is great. I'm so excited we're here.
So am I.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So I do want to, so for anybody that like, just kick this off here, for anybody that's watching and you hear Graham or me or something, like if you hear somebody say something that you like, wait a second, that's not what I heard, or wait, I want to ask a question, just comment. Facebook, YouTube, super easy to comment in there, and then one of us can get back to you and during the show and have a conversation, or the other thing is whoops, nope, there we go. The other thing is this right here. If you scan that QR code, you'll go to Graham's website and you can get a lot of questions answered there. It's got all his social media links. It's got a lot of stuff on there that we'll talk about in just a second. But before we get started diving in here, Graham, I do have one question that I like to ask everybody that comes on the show, and I always love the answer. There's no wrong answer. On the days that were tough, right? On those dark days with your dad, your brother, with whatever. I mean, when you guys are going through it, on those dark days, how did you still maintain hope?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, when it came to my father, and I could see there was absolutely no return for him, because he became housebound the last 5 years of his life, sarcopenia, bone loss, 7 chronic illnesses, 12 medications, couldn't walk, and then he became bedbound. And once he became bedbound for the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks of his life, and then developed gangrene, I'll be honest, I was... And so was my father. He was hoping that the quicker he passed seemed to be the best solution.
Yeah.
And when he passed, it was more of a relief, at least in the beginning. Obviously, the truth sets in a little later. But right there in the beginning, it was just like taking a deep breath and letting it just for my dad's sake, really. It's no pain and suffering anymore.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. I had a very similar experience with my grandpa with dementia for the last 3 years of his life, and by the time when he passed away, I think every one of us just took a big sigh and then we cried,
Right.
Big sigh of relief, because we know that, where he is now, he is perfectly healthy and good to go.
He's in a better place, that's for sure.
That's right. So yeah, good answer, man. So yeah, so that's rough, man. You watched 2 of your dad and your brother struggle with type 2 diabetes, especially toward the end there.
They both, I think it was about maybe 15 years into for my father when he so the last 10 years of his life, I started to, my father and my brother live in England. Well, my father's passed away, but they live in England and I live in the US. Right. But every time I went home, I just saw a big decline. Yeah. And then by the time it had got to him being housebound, that's when he refused to go into a home. So we had to get him a shopper, a dog walker, somebody to come in, make sure he was in bed. He's taken his tablets, cooking some meals. I mean, it's a production.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a production. And just all just everything he went through, heart attack, 7 chronic illnesses, my brother's still around. But all his conditions have left him, just mentally disheveled.
Yeah.
One can only imagine. It's terrible. Again, he did suffer a heart attack, bleeding ulcers in his stomach. He's lost 75-80% of his eyesight through diabetic retinopathy. All what I've learned over this last 6 years, Jeff, type 2 diabetes is a horrendous disease. Yes. Now, this managing type 2 diabetes, it's a lot of work. It's easier to put a little bit of work in to change your lifestyle and get rid of the disease. Because what I've also realized and learned over the last 6 years is that when you stop feeding the disease, it goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not just saying feeding it with nutrition. My program, Small Steps, Big Results, is about 5 pillars of health: nutrition, exercise and movement, sleep quality, which is very overlooked.
Yes.
Stress management, and being mindful of alcohol consumption. So if people, because a lot of, let's just say somebody wants to lose weight, they automatically think, okay, I got to go on a diet, right? But it's a little bit more than that, because again, yes, you do have to be aware of what you're putting in your body, but you also have to include movement and exercise. Now, let's hypothetically say you're eating healthy. Oh, you're getting your 10,000 steps a day, but you have a very stressful life, whether it be family, work, and you're not getting quality sleep, and that might be all turning you to alcohol. Well, you're setting yourself up for metabolic dysfunction.
Well, and part of it is just your brain. Your brain's got to be in good shape, and in order for your brain to be in good shape, that's the only. And I only learned this a few years ago, which is ironic because my invisible condition involves brain surgery every once in a while. So you'd think I would have been up on this more. But apparently, and you probably already know this, maybe some of you already know this out there, the brain is the only system, the only organ, the only system, whatever you want to call it, that can only cleanse itself of toxins and impurities while you are sleeping. That's the only time it can do it. It can't do it while you're awake.
Too much.
Every other system can do it while you're awake. The brain has to have you asleep. And if you don't get enough sleep, it doesn't have time to do it properly.
Oh, it's very damaging and sleep. So, and as you probably know, Jeff, that the gut is called the second brain.
Yep, exactly.
That's why we have to take care of his guts. Yes. And what most people are putting in the gut is not taking care of it by any means.
It's not. There's no food in the food anymore that people are eating. It's terrible.
There's no nutrients. And that's why we eat food, is to nourish yourself.
Yes.
But unfortunately, fast food and processed food, it's void of nutrients. It's void of fiber. Void of nutrients, and full of unhealthy, toxic ingredients. Right.
I know. And it's, I think we've learned the wrong thing over the last, 30, 40, 50 years. We've learned the wrong thing. We've absorbed the wrong message, which is food is there to make you not hungry. Just eat until you're not hungry. And it doesn't matter what you eat. People know that it matters what you eat. I know in the back of your mind, in your heart, everybody knows you're not supposed to eat fast food all the time. Don't eat the stuff that's packaged all the time because it doesn't have as many nutrients. Like, people know this stuff, but when you're in the store, when you're on the go and you pass the Chick-fil-A, the Burger King, the whatever restaurant is your favorite, it's just so easy,
So it's instant gratification, and we've slowly been indoctrinated into this instant gratification. Oh, you want to save time in the kitchen? Swing by here. And it's very damaging. And I think because of the misinformation, disinformation, and deceptive packaging by food companies, people actually think they're eating healthy. Pretty much most clients who come to me say, well, I don't quite understand it. I eat healthy. And then as we start to break down what they're eating on a daily basis, because I make sure they're sending me photographs in the beginning, so I know what they're eating. Yeah. And it's like, well, do you realize you probably had about 60 grams of sugar yesterday? and they've no idea.
No. It's like, have you ever, I am a full-on movie junkie, so sorry for this. All you watching know this. I talk about movies all the time. Have you ever seen the movie Peter Rabbit? It had James Corden. It was like a computer animated, story of the classic story of Peter Rabbit, but it was updated.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I know which movie. I'm actually the opposite of you, Jeff. I don't watch. I can't remember. I don't even know the last movie I saw. But
Well, there's a line in there. Peter Rabbit and his brother or his sisters and his friend are on a mission. They're going to this vegetable garden to go steal some vegetables from the neighbor, and they're on top of this rooftop, and he said, he's Peter Rabbit's telling his friend who's the overweight buddy, and he's like, well, no, you got to have the dressing on the side. You have the salad, but you have the dressing on the side. And he said, I don't understand why that works, because then you just drink it all at once. How does that help? I was like, no. That's not the point. People misinterpret that stuff, right? They say dressing on the side, but then they just dump it all over everything. That's not the point. But the education isn't there, right? So people are watching and listening to things that are antiquated and out of date and honestly harmful for you.
Very harmful.
And it's not like, where's the how do you learn? Where do you learn how to do this,
Jeff?
right?
There is, to me, there is no education out there how to be healthy. In fact, it's the opposite. Whether it's a billboard, whether you walk into the supermarket, whether it's an advertisement on TV, it's promoting these unhealthy food products, which are cleverly engineered by food scientists to be addictive, and they do a fantastic job, because they do, because that is the biggest thing is identifying your unhealthy addictions with slowly being indoctrinated into. And here's another thing I see, and it's causing problems for a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is slowly being indoctrinated, if not invented. 3 meals a day and snacking in between.
It sounds good, right? It sounds kind of healthy, right? Like 3 meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 square meals a day, right?
And then a snack in between all of those. It's too much. Forgetting calories, it's just too much. And I'm going to say the only reason people eat 3 meals a day and snacking, because they're eating the wrong meals.
Because they feel like they need to snack because they get hungry between the meals.
It's the sugar thing again. Yeah. It's all the simple carbs, which are, heavily in fast food and processed food. Totally. So they bring you up, they give you energy, they get you all moving, and then they crash. And then you look at, where did I put them chips?
Where did I put that Snickers bar? Where did I put that? Yeah.
Yeah. And people are not again, there really is no education out there. And that is why children are now being diagnosed with type 2. Children as young as, I'm hearing as young as 5 years of age.
Yeah.
With type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, weight gain, and even teenagers with high blood pressure now. That's
unbelievable.
In defense of the parents, because the parents obviously are not feeding the kids this food thinking they're damaging them, because of the misinformation, disinformation, and deceptive packaging. Fat-free, sugar-free, organic. It's garbage to me. It's not real food. The human body will thrive on real food.
Yes. And you won't need as much because it's real food. It gives you the nutrients you need.
Exactly. Getting back to that 3 meals a day and snacking in between. That's what I used to do. Do you know what I do now, Jeff?
What do you do?
2 meals a day.
Okay.
I do the fast. I skip breakfast now. And now I'm not telling anybody to wake up tomorrow and skip breakfast. If you're going to get into fasting, you've got to slowly add an hour as each week or each month. There's no rush for any of this. So it took me a long time just saying, I used to get up at 7:30, have some breakfast. Then I pushed it to 8:30, and then pushed it to 9 and 10. And now I have my first meal around noon, and I eat in what I call a probably 6-hour window. And when I have that first meal, it's full of the 3 essential macronutrients: protein, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates / fiber. And when I have this wonderful meal, I don't even think of snacking because it satiates me.
Nope, because
It does the job.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And this is, by the way, if this is all new to you, if this is all new to you watching out there, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, drop a comment, drop a question, man. We're happy to answer it. Like we want to interact with you and see, like, where are you coming from? Where are you watching from? What have you been eating today? Ask, what questions do you have? That's what Graham's here for. He's only here. We've only got him for this episode. So ask away. I think that we're at a good spot to take a short break because I want to dive into more on the other side of the break. We'll talk more about your website. We've got a book that we want to talk about. So everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere. And we'll see you in just a second, Graham. I'm going to actually talk to the audience for just 1 second. We'll see you in just a minute. All right, listen, everybody. I would like to talk to you. There it is. Nope. Yep. There we go. Well, close enough. This is something I want to talk to you about. I have recently stumbled across this. Just real quick, I want to share something I stumbled onto that's been really interesting to me, actually. It's you guys know I'm always looking for simple, natural ways to support my health, right? With my surgical history, with all the stuff that I've gone through with my invisible condition, I don't want to do anything super extreme because that could hurt you and damage your body. But I want to find stuff that works. So I found this company called Healthy Home, and they've got some really cool, really thoughtful, well thought out wellness resources, stuff that supports your body's ability to do what it's already doing, what it already knows to do: repair, balance, improve circulation, skin, joints. It's like your body already knows how to do it. This just kind of helps it along. I've been digging into it a little bit and learning how it works. And honestly, it makes sense. Nothing crazy, just supporting what your body already wants to do. So if you're even a little curious, scan the QR code on your screen and take a look. And, just take a look, see what you think. No pressure or anything. Just something cool I wanted to share with you. My friends out there, my audience, you're watching, so you must care about your health. So I want to share this with you. So scan the QR code, check it out, or call that number, and somebody can answer your questions for you too. So, all right, everybody, I'll see you on the other side.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being here, Graham. This is awesome. I'm learning stuff. I learn stuff every show. There's always something you can learn, right? About something.
Always.
And nutrition, man, with all the crazy that we have been served over the last 50, 60, 80 years about nutrition and what it is and what it should be, man, this might be a little bit of an eye opener for some people. So
I hope so. I
hope
hope
so.
so, because this is, I mean, it's not an epidemic, it's a pandemic.
right. Yeah. It's a big deal.
It's
And-
spreading all over the world. It's the same in my country. It's the same in a lot of other European countries, and even some of the Arab countries, where they used to be the healthiest nations on the planet.
Yes.
You go to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and it's they've slowly been introduced to fast food, packaged food, pizzas, and it's just, and they're loving it. They're loving it, and it's showing. I actually follow a doctor in Abu Dhabi, and it's an epidemic there. Weight gain, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes.
Well, and if you look at not just Abu Dhabi or Dubai or anywhere, I mean, any country, if you look at, if you look at the US and maybe some Western European countries in the 50s, like if you look at pictures from us, of us in the 50s and 60s
on the beach, there's not a single person that's overweight. Like everybody looks awesome, right? And it's just random pictures on the beach. It's not like it's an ad for a product with the models and stuff. It's just people, and everybody looks slender and healthy. And I'd be afraid to take a picture at the beach now. I know, and we know why that was. Is because there wasn't fast food and processed food around.
There wasn't even a microwave until
exactly. People were eating real food, and that is people have been eating, lean organic meats and chicken, wild caught fish, seafood, fruits and vegetable, beans and legumes and nuts and seeds, herbs and spices since pretty much man started.
Forever. Yeah,
for as long as you want to go back.
Yeah,
and there weren't, when I was growing up in England as a teenager in the mid 70s.
Okay.
There was no obesity and type 2 diabetes. No. It seemed to kick in around the mid 80s. There seemed to be that real influx of more fast food restaurants, supermarkets all of a sudden became bigger with more of this manufactured.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it food, to tell you the truth. It's just manufactured products, what look good, taste good, and smell good.
Well, and especially, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what? Before I ask that question, I got to put your book on that. I got to show people your book, because this is awesome, and I love the cover, and I love what you like. First of all, tell people what the book's about, and then we can get it at your website, right? The QR code that's there.
Yeah, there's a QR code on my website for the book. It's available. It'll take you straight to Amazon, where it's available in paperback and on Kindle as a digital.
Awesome. And what's in here? Is it like an instruction guide? Is it
so what it is it's, I'm going to say it's primarily, as you can see, simple strategies for sustainable weight loss, lasting energy, and long life health. So it's primarily a weight loss book, but what really prompted me to write this book was I had people, I think most of my clients have really come to me for weight loss.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I had clients coming to me for weight loss, and they might have had type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure. And it wasn't too long, really, I'd say too long, within a 6 to 8 weeks period, where, you see, again, when you start feeding the disease starts to go away. So the blood pressure was coming down naturally. The blood sugars and insulin levels were coming down naturally. So they got to a point where they went to the doctors, who first reduced the medication and then further eliminated it. They're now leading healthy, vibrant, energetic lives just through making these small steps, which do lead to big results. Now, if there's anybody listening to this and they decide they want to make lifestyle changes, what I'm going to say next is extremely, extremely important. When you start this journey, and I do this with all my clients, let's just hypothetically say you have high blood pressure.
Okay.
If you start to work on these 5 pillars of health, I guarantee you, your blood pressure will naturally come down. So you have to log down every day. Not just take your blood pressure 3 times a day, but log it down. Because when you go to your doctor, you'll be able to, well, I always tell my clients to first go get the blood work done. Tell your doctor that you're making lifestyle changes and you will be back at some point. So just let your doctor know that you're doing that. Let him have his tuppence with, if you want to call it that, what he might give you some advice. Because at some point you'll go back and you'll go, well, I told you I was making lifestyle changes. This is my blood pressure at week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. It's going down. The doctor doesn't have a choice but to reduce the medication.
Nope.
And if you don't do this, you will get yourself in trouble. So it's imperative, if you're making lifestyle changes, that you get on board, you make the commitment, and you do it right.
Yeah. Yes. And it doesn't hurt to tell you, if you're dealing with these kind of things, high blood pressure and high cholesterol and type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, all these different lifestyle conditions.
Well, I just got to interject there, Jeff. Type 1 is not lifestyle.
Well, no. Type 1 is not necessarily. Although I did. So somebody in a pastor that I know actually was in his 40s, and and he was diagnosed with type 1. Never before.
That's
and
interesting.
In his 40s, he was diagnosed with type 1.
Well, his pancreas packed up.
Maybe it was a long time coming. Maybe it was So it depends on kind
That's
of
unusual. Yeah, it's usually childhood when that shows it.
Right, exactly. That's why it was unusual. That's why. Yeah. But yeah, it's type 2 and all those things. Like, if you're gonna be tackling all this stuff, like let somebody know. Don't just because part of it is accountability, right? You want somebody that's gonna help you along, but then also to make sure you do it right.
Yeah, it's got to be done right. So back to the book. There's a lot of education in there about of the cause of these diseases, which is, I'm going to say, is fundamentally the overconsumption of simple carbohydrates, raising your blood sugar and your insulin levels. Because whether it's high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, gut issues, gout, even dementia, now they call type 3 diabetes, diabetic retinopathy, nerve damage, cardiovascular heart disease, they all kind of related to insulin and sugar.
Okay. Yeah.
So really what it is it's about, without wearing a continuous glucose monitor or pricking your finger every day, just be conscious of what you're eating. What is it doing to my blood sugars? Yeah. And I might take it a little step further, because I do have in my office, I have a type 2 diabetes where you prick your finger and you check your blood sugars. I do that mainly just for curiosity. Yeah. Let's say I'll eat a certain meal, 2 hours later, I'll check my blood sugars. With the meals I eat, I've never had raised blood sugars after that 2 hours. Never.
Sure. No, I would imagine.
Yeah, because I'm not like, but even, but I just do that now and again because I'm curious to wear my blood. I'm curious now. It's not something I do every day or every meal. Now and again, I'll wake up on a morning and see what my fasting blood sugars are. Right. Or before I go to bed, just for curiosity. So far, it seems to be good, but mainly because I'm conscious what I eat, when I eat, and how I eat. Yep.
It makes a difference. I mean, the main thing I'm hearing through all of this is your intentionality and you're wanting to, making the decision and sticking with what you do and not treat. That's the difference between a diet and a lifestyle change, right? diet is temporary, lifestyle change ideally is permanent, right?
Right. I mean, if you're just going on a little diet for a while to lose weight, you're wasting your time, because as soon as you come off it, you're going to put it on. And if you're not dealing with the other 4 pillars of health, they all relate to weight gain, blood sugars. You see, here's the thing: if you're eating, like if you're living a real stress, it's a real stressful life, you're producing too much cortisol, and cortisol disrupts blood sugars, regardless where your blood sugars are. So they're all tied in.
So no matter how well you eat, if you're stressed out, it's not going to benefit you as much as if
I just listened to a podcast the other day, and a doctor was talking about that. That is, when I say a doctor, all the doctors I follow are like functional medical doctors who've left the conventional medical system and can actually talk about this. So when you go, that's what you really should be doing. If you really want to reverse these lifestyle disease, go see a functional medical doctor, or hook up with somebody like myself who can guide you. I even still now might guide my patients to a functional medical doctor, just because what I'm saying, I want you to understand that too. So when you've had your blood work done, and here's what's amazing, Jeff, is the clients come to me, ask them to get the blood work done. So we can look at something. And 3 months later, they go have the blood work done, and how dramatically it's changed.
Yeah.
I believe it. In 3 months. Yeah. In 3 months. It's crazy. It
doesn't take long. I mean, your body is constantly replacing
trying to heal itself.
Your taste buds are brand new every 30 days. Your digestive tract is new every 28
your red blood cells they're all regenerating.
So everything regenerates. Your entire body regenerates after a certain amount of time. I mean, every single cell. So it's not surprising if you stick with it for a certain amount of time. Of course, it's gonna form that habit, and it's right. So
and you know what's real? I don't really know the word. Maybe calming is once your blood work comes in order. Now look, it's not the A all and B all of your health, but it's a good indicator. But it really it gives you a feeling that you're not setting yourself up for the number one killer, heart attack and stroke.
Yeah. Heart attack and stroke, which, by the way, aren't helped by stress either. Just saying.
Oh no, stress is. Oh no, if you've got stress going on in your life, you have to do something about it. Yes. You got to go to therapy to deal with what's stressing you. We know you can't eliminate stress, but what you can do is reduce stress.
Yes.
And what I recommend, because certainly everything I'm talking about, I've been through. You know, I'm not sat here saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm like Mr. Put me on a pedestal." I've dealt with what everyone else has had to deal with, and I've still got to keep moving through this healthy life. But I lost my train of thought there, Jeff.
That's all right. Mine derails every once in a while too. You're one thing that I noticed in some of your stuff that I was reading is you talk about the I know a lot of people, we've kind of already covered this, but a lot of people think, oh well, I just take a diet pill, or I take a medication, or I take this. But and a lot of people think, oh well, I'm not feeling the symptom. That must have been the magic bullet that just knocked it out. I'm good now. Common misconception.
Yeah, big time, really. Well, again, look, let's just take my brother and my father.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
Yeah,
they basically and a lot of people, they stay on the same lifestyle. Basically, they might make a few small changes, but they stay on the same lifestyle because, like I mentioned, if you change your lifestyle, the disease would go away. So while you're on medication, you still have the disease. Now, here's what I don't think people realize, like my dad and my brother. When you still have the disease and you're still feeding the disease, slowly over the months, years, and even decades, you're slowly doing damage to other vital organs.
Yep.
Until all of a sudden something happens.
That's right.
Or you get another disease and you go on another pill.
Yeah.
It's so, I mean, I don't even know what to think of the medical industry, because it's actually not healthcare anymore. It's disease management.
That's exactly right. And it's so funny because even in the 70s, they were making light of it almost. It was, here comes another movie reference, Graham. I'm sorry.
No,
there's a movie out there called What's Up, Doc? And it was Brian O'Neill and Barbara Streisand and a whole bunch of other actors that you would probably recognize, but I don't know their names. But there was a scene at the very end. It was a very slapstick, hilarious movie. But at the very end, there's this courtroom scene at the end, and the judge comes in with the bailiff, and the judge starts lining up all these pill bottles on his bench. And he looks at the bailiff and he says, "You know what this blue pill is for?" And he takes it. And he goes, "No, Judge, what?" He says, "To remind me to take this red pill." And he takes the red pill and he goes, "You know what this red pill's for?" "No, Judge, what's that for?" "To remind me to take this green pill." And he takes the green pill. He goes, "What's that green pill for, Judge?" He goes, "I don't know. They're afraid to tell me." And it's supposed to be funny, right? It's hilarious. But I watch that knowing what I know about all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. That guy needs to get off the bench and go get rid of those medications and get healthy.
No, I know. I was once sat with my dad, and he said, "Oh, can you just go into the dining room and get me pill box?" So I brought his pill box in, and he cracked it open, and he tipped it all on the coffee table, and there are all these pills. There were 12 pills popped out. What? So I said, "Oh, that's your medication for the week, Dad?" He goes, "For the week? No, that's today." I'm like, "You're joking, Dad." I said, "What are they all for?" He says, "I don't know. My doctor's told me to take
Oh,
them."
No. Wrong answer.
Well, that is the wrong answer, but I think that's what people do. Your doctor says, "Oh, you need this pill." Well, they take it.
Oh, and I'm feeling this side effect from the pill. Oh, well, here's another pill to cover up the side effect. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, look, there's enough doctors talking about what's going on. Like I said, I follow all these doctors who were talking about what's going on with big food, big pharma, and where we are at the GP level. Yeah, it is nothing but disease management.
Right.
At least, I mean, I don't know if it'll ever get to giving people a choice. If you go, you've got crazy blood pressure, you know what? You need to be on a medication right away. There's no argument there. But I'm led to believe that most people who go on type 2 diabetes medication and high blood pressure, and they ask the doctor, "Well, how long well, you're going to have to take it the rest of your life," which is true if you don't do something about it.
Yeah.
So I hope we get to a point in the medical industry where they give you a choice. Because look, this isn't brain surgery. Reversing these diseases it's just, to me, it's common sense.
Right.
It's literally common sense. Stop feeding the disease. Well, what am I doing wrong? Well, I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not moving your body. You're not exercising. You're eating all these sugary foods, and you've got a stressful life. You're not getting quality sleep.
Well, and you're feeding things like with all this processed and the sugar, especially. If you find yourself in the unfortunate situation where you're diagnosed with some sort of cancer, I mean, any kind of condition, disease, disorder, whatever, is going to be fed by sugar. I mean, sugar is the fuel for this stuff. So if you find yourself in that situation, that's the first thing to go.
Yeah,
right?
it's the fuel for cancer.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because not funny. It's more like bang your head against the wall funny, but it's, I've heard, and of course I've never been to medical school, so I can't speak authoritatively about this, but I've heard that in their 7 or 8 years of education, just to be a GP, you get about 15 minutes of nutrition information passed across the table for you.
I've heard. I've heard doctors talk about this. I think in a 4-year term, you get a total of 20 hours. Now that's just ridiculous. And
It's
actually,
crazy.
it's funny. I listened to again a couple of days ago. I listened to this podcast. It was long-winded, but it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was a cardiologist and a doctor from the UK. Now this doctor, he made himself very vulnerable because he said in 2000 and I think it was 12.
Okay.
He also was suffering with type 2 diabetes. And he wasn't aware it was reversible.
Oh my gosh.
And check this out, Jeff.
Come on.
This is wild. No, I'm telling you. What's his name now? I can't remember.
We don't
his
need
name.
to throw him under the bus. It's okay.
But he was talking about this. So what he did, he noticed one of his type 2 diabetic patients weren't picking the medication up. They hadn't been picking it up for months. So he emailed this lady and said, I see you're not picking it. 2 days later, she came storming in his office. And she says, I don't have type 2 diabetes anymore. He said, what are you talking about? He goes, I joined a group and it's gone. I don't have type 2 diabetes anymore. He said,
and that blew his mind.
He said, well, can you help me? So he got a patient helping a doctor. And this is not that far away.
And type 2 is really not, I mean, of the things that are out there that are affecting people's health and vitality and lifestyle and all that stuff, like type 2 relative to other conditions that are out there is relatively simple to figure out and to reverse and get rid of. Like it really is. I mean, it's not
I
easy.
agree with you.
It's not easy maybe, but it's simple, right?
Simple is the word. It's like losing weight. People struggle to lose weight. I'm not sure why.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. If you just, again, but here's the thing, Jeff. I think it can be very overwhelming for people. Again, let's just give a hypothetical. Let's just say you're 30, 40 pounds overweight. If you are, you got high blood pressure.
Sure.
It's like, even if you are aware of the 5 pillars, where'd you start? Where do you start? It's all because nobody is going to wake up one morning and say, okay, I need to change my nutrition. Oh, I need to start exercising, and I've got to reduce my stress. Oh, I better cut my alcohol down. And I think that's why a lot of people fail for a few reasons. One, they're not aware of the 5 pillars of health. They're all damaging. They'll maybe looking at exercise and nutrition. And the other is they're just so overwhelmed and they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening and they're in that situation, here's where you start. This is why I call my book Small Steps, Big Results. You start small. First of all, you have to commit to yourself. You have to commit to yourself. You're not going to commit, you're going to fail.
Yep.
So once you've made the commitment, I say you start with your nutrition. I would look at things like sugary coffee drinks, sodas, sports drinks, energy drinks. Do your best. Now, whether it takes you 3 weeks to slowly eliminate and change them for water with a squeeze of lime, with a squeeze of lemon. I put magnesium in my water and Celtic salt. That's how I get my hydration through all of that. Make sure I'm getting my enough magnesium, because the 2 most deficiencies on the planet are magnesium and vitamin D.
There you go. Yes. 100%.
Right? On the planet. So you've got to really make sure that you're getting those. And then once you've started on that, make sure that from the last meal of the evening, I'm going to say, and do your best to avoid that snacking from your last meal to go into bed.
Yep.
Just try and avoid that. And then make sure you are at least fasting for 12 hours. So you go to bed at 10, or you have your last meal at 7. Make sure that it's at least 12 hours.
Okay.
And here's what's important, Jeff, is that first meal of the day is important, because you've been fasting for 12 hours. Your blood sugar and insulin levels are all nice and stable now. So what you're going to do, get up and have your bowl of cereal or your jam on toast, your pancake, your pastries, your donut, and then just kick it all back in again, raise you up, spike you down. So that first meal of the day, look, a good first meal of the day would be, and I know what people might be saying, well, I don't have time for that. Make time for it. Make time for your health before you're forced to make time for an illness.
Right.
You can have a 3-egg scramble with some red pepper, green pepper, chopped garlic. Get that going in your pan. 3-egg omelette, half an avocado, and some pickles.
There you go.
That will satiate you.
That's awesome. No, every time you're naming stuff up, I'm like, yep, there's some fat, there's some protein, there's some
exactly. You've got healthy protein, fat, and fiber. And again, at the end, and if you do that for your next meal, make sure you've just got when I think of a meal, the first thing what comes to my mind is, where's my what am I having for my protein?
Yep.
When I get up on a morning, I always have protein in my fridge and my freezer. If I look in my fridge, I maybe don't have any chicken or steak in there, I'll pull a couple of things out of the freezer. And then I go, okay, it's 12 o'clock. That's not unfrozen yet. I'll have a 4-egg scramble. Here's another thing I think people can really save time.
So Graham, we got about a minute or two left.
Oh,
so
okay, mate.
Just so you know, I just want to make sure we didn't.
You, but yeah. So, well, I'm glad we're ending with this, because this is how you start this. Is I make a big roasted vegetable dish, which is I roast it in the oven. It's in my thing. So what I do, it's red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, onions, garlic, and mushrooms. So I'll just couple of scoops of that in a frying pan, some butter, get that sauteing, make a 3 or 4 egg scramble, half an avocado, and that's a good meal. Me personally, I always have a mixed berry dish in the fridge too. So after that, I'll have some raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, a couple of spoons of yogurt, some chocolate nibs, and that satiates me for 6 hours until my last meal. Start slow and make them slow steps. Get a plan. Even better, find an accountability partner like a friend, a co-worker, a family member who wants to go on this journey with you. Commit to it and be consistent. It is 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that's fine. Yep. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Sometimes that's how it has to work, man.
I think it's the only way it can work.
Yeah, it's the long game, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
yep.
It's small steps. Take your time. It don't matter if it takes you 6 months or a year to establish a healthy habit and work on all the 5 pillars. Your life will change for the better, of course.
Yes, of course. And if anybody has questions about any of that, that's what the QR code is for. And that is where you should go to find everything and anything that you want, and you to be able to contact Graham, to be able to reach out, to find his book. Graham, thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you for this was eye-opening for me. I hope it was eye-opening for you. And I hope you learned something. But Graham, thank you so much for being here, man.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure I'll see you around town somewhere.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. All right, everybody. Man, I tell you what, that's good stuff. I need to, I feel like I need to change a couple things now. Don't tell anybody. Shh. I'm probably eating. Definitely don't eat as well as he does. That's for sure. There's always room for improvement, right? So, hey, everybody, thank you for being here. Like, follow, subscribe, share, no matter where you're watching. Thank you for being here. Join us for our next show on Tuesday, February 10th. And we'll have another amazing guest telling their story. And hope you'll join us. Looking forward to seeing you then. Till that next show, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.